It's the official NRL Fantasy Podcast.
Game on. High sense. How good. You know what that intro reminds me of? Remember Luke Rodley? We used to do that years ago. That's what it reminds me of.
You got a pep in your step, don't you?
Well, Tigers won.
Tigers won, had a good round, Paulie.
Yeah.
You're all into it.
All in. Paulie G, Luke Seifley, Andrew Mullen-O'Reilly. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
That was a fun round for a lot of fantasy coaches, right?
It's obviously fun for you. It was good.
Well, it was the one that got away from me, unfortunately. So I'm not.
You still have Fermor.
Yes, but I won't be making the same mistake.
Captaincy. That's the big one.
May and Haas, both Haas and May.
May and Haas and May.
Like captain coaches, shall we say. They were happy. The Cleary captainers were not.
No. I thought Cleary was going to carve
We're in
up my boys.
2025 and Prop's playing 80 minutes. It's good stuff.
Or more than
90.
that. More,
88.
Sorry, yeah,
88.
more than 80
yeah.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what I mean.
I want to know, can he back it up though?
Well, is it sustainable? I've been saying for 4 weeks, every time people question us, send out questions in for...
This time I think he's got to play less than the full game.
I don't know.
2 games in a row and one of them a golden point game. At some point, Benji has to give him a rest.
Well, let's just get the awkward part out of the way first. I mean, unless you really can't not captain either of those two from going forward now.
It feels like for a while, like Cleary, let's face it, Cleary came off a 94.
Yep.
Or 93 was it in the end, 2 weeks.
Well, that's why that result was so shocking because I'll put my hand up. I captained Cleary because I thought they might be back,
but he might get another 90 this week.
Yeah, I know, but I'm playing the law of averages, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at the 2 middles for.
Well, they're not having down games.
No, that's right. That's where I mean.
Haas has had one below 50 game.
And Cleary's the collective unit around him is just there's too many moving parts at the moment. Yeah. So let's get all the negative stuff out of the way and let's focus on the positive.
Guys like Aaron Clark, both for more. There were some big scorers. The team of the week must have really nailed.
Well, I'm very interested to see it. I haven't seen it yet. It must be 1,200.
I'm waiting for Dan.
It must be 1,200.
Put it out on. By the time, if our podcast listeners might have already seen it.
Yep.
It's got to be 1,200, right?
Oh, it's got to be.
Have to be.
It's got to be.
They wouldn't have captained Cleary, that's for sure.
If you captained Cleary and you got the score of the week, then wow.
Yep.
I'll just put it that way.
You might get a personalised Paulie G message if they captain
the
Cleary
rest
and got
of your
1,200.
team must be just outstanding. There you go. Look at that. 12-13, you were right. Team
had to be over 1,200.
Terrell May, captain. Olaquata, your man. So shout out to Liam, well done. Well done. And any other takeaways before we get into the rounds?
No, it's super boring. It's just...
I think to piggyback off Muller's and the point about captaincy, I think you just almost, in a year where it's just so unpredictable, you're going to have to get your captaincy right now.
Yep.
Like it's too important because the problem is...
Can't win them all though.
No, I get that, but I think you're going to have to be a lot safer with your captaincy because these results and these swings, like...
But May could,
that's the thing.
Could come off.
It's safer.
Respectfully, Aaron Clark getting 81. Who would have seen that coming?
81.
81. 81 is a big score.
Yeah, big score.
And look how many big scores. Like it's just so volatile the round. Like you've got, You don't want to go the mids now. You want to go guns and then some cheapies to make you some cash. That's where you're at. If you're getting someone mid-priced, it's someone that can go to that level. If you keep trying to get guys that are only going to score your 40s at best, you're just going to keep falling behind the pack, I think.
Yep.
Let's talk some rugby league, shall we? Magic Round is upon us, and the first game of Magic Round is Sharks v the Eels. And Cronulla, well, that was a tough game, and it's only a 5-day turnaround. Yep. So I feel like the Eels that have had the bye have got a huge advantage.
And also too, Mitchell Moses being the team's a completely different proposition, as your boys discovered.
Was not expecting that at all from the Eels against your boys. Like we all know how good Moses is, but like that good, it was crazy.
Can you bank on Iongi then?
I think
Playing
so.
off the back of Moses,
so.
You can start him with confidence game one, or is he a looping candidate?
Well, if you have the option to loop, probably good chance to loop, but I think
he's a different player.
It's the space that Moses is creating for him, right?
He should be safe.
He's still getting the missed tackles, don't get me wrong, but he's getting way more attacking stats now because obviously they've got a halfback that's kicking into areas and actually getting in field position. It's such a difference.
AFB was very strong. Hines was good.
Yep.
Would you get these guys over the Origin period?
I mean, I've already got AFB, so I'd be looking at him. And
It's going to be a great Origin.
Yeah, and I don't think Hines, respectfully, is probably not going to be picked. So
AFB, yes. Hines, no.
Luke, one thing we need to mention for Kartoga owners, with Charlie Guyman named, Kelma Tuolangi suspended, we think that Kartoga will move back to the right, playing outside.
Well, we've been on this for
That's what we
2
think.
3
We don't
weeks.
know.
Yeah, no, but it's
scouts out there.
It is very, very.
Right in.
Again, we can't stress this enough. It's very, very important because Kautoga, for a lot of fantasy players, will be a looping option. Make sure he's in the spot so you know by the time kickoff happens, if he's on the right, get him. If he's not, loop him.
There you go.
I think that's the whole cut and paste right there because it's so important.
Watch where they're warm. They always show it. Channel 9 and Foxtel and KO. It's the first game up. Well, this one's on Foxtel and KO only, but just watch those warm-ups because they always show them, right?
Yeah,
in the pre-game. And you'll see who he's running with. If he's running with Moses and that, then just do your thing.
I know it's a bit extreme, but I'm telling you.
In this case, it'll be worth it.
From 20, it's a difference between 20 points and 50, 55. And it's a big deal when your whole team adds up. It's a big deal. So,
get your questions in. We are going to answer some of them very shortly, not all at the end. So let's do some a bit early. But first of all, let's get to the next game. It's the Roosters v the Dolphins. How good Friday night footy for Magic Round, and it's the Dolphins as one of the two teams involved. I'm excited for this one, but the coach Christian Wolf wouldn't be so happy because they really let slip a game they should have won.
Well, I mean, I picked the Raiders and the Dolphins absolutely blew them off the park.
Yeah.
They're a good team. I really like watching them play. I think they've clicked now.
A lot of attacking upside.
Love their centres. Obviously, Hammer's a superstar. Yeah, I love watching them play. But it was one that they let go, I think. I don't think, Christian will be too happy.
Herbie Farnworth, would you pick him up with Origin around the corner or just wait a couple more weeks? I mean, centres, there's a lot of good centres out
but he's 700,000.
He's the best.
It's a lot, mate.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money, but
I think, if you can get him.
His salary caps. There's people out there with salary caps 13 million plus.
I don't know who you can trust more, Titans or Dolphins. I think if they play each other, the world might collapse. It's just it's literally that unpredictable. Like Moller said, they were cruising.
They were so
back.
Yeah, but they were putting in chip kicks.
Everything was sticking,
but also the big one too, Paulie, that affects Marshall King. No Safidi.
Yeah, it's a big loss.
That's massive, mate. Look at Newey. Newey have not been the same since Safidi got hurt.
And what about the Roosters on ANZAC Day? That was incredible. Nawanga Tisanwaze, I thought, played really well. Savala, but Sandon Smith was the huge one. If you held him, you loved him.
I think for Marky Mark...
I think everyone did.
Because I was worried he was going to lose his cash, but I mean...
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, again, if you held on to him, he looked like a genius.
Yeah.
He's going to have another few weeks of price rises on the back of that one score. Angus Crichton, on the other hand, that was low, and Nafo wide as well. So we're starting to be concerned about some of their forwards, and their buy is in round 10. So my advice would be start looking at which ones to get off, particularly if you've got a Connor Watson.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say,
Yeah, because Watson was also... I don't know what really happened in that game. He just...
Well, you got to anticipate, right? Touch wood, hope he's healthy in that, but... I think he'll be in Origin.
I think so too. He'll be 40.
So you've got basically got 2 weeks. 2 weeks after their bye. And the team's picked, isn't it? Or 2 or 3? One. Sorry, there you go. Well, there you go. That's what I mean. So you've got to prepare yourself to offload those players.
Maybe get rid of one this week if you've got like 5 of them, and another one or even 2 next week. But
there could be a few.
Tedesco was great.
Yep.
So you're holding him. Toya though, underwhelmed, I thought.
Yep, 100%.
He could be a sell.
I like Mark though too. I think Mark's a great shout.
Well, he could be a pick-up
because he's still a real decent price, and he's very busy. He's like a mini Carraz.
At half time, I thought he was going to get to 80.
Well, he would if he got the ball.
He loves an offload.
And again, just to premise the Roosters chat. We just got to make there could be a few surprises with their selections too, like Origin-wise.
I was going to say, does Teddy play Origin?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm not ruling it out. Yeah, I'm not ruling it out.
But he often is on it.
I'm not ruling out new coach, new system, because there's a very good chance there's a new captain.
Well, I want to see it this week for Roosters, and then round 11,
I'm just saying
12, Teddy could be a buy.
I'm just saying to your point, it's something to flag because you don't want 4 or 5 Roosters players, and next week you snooker.
100%.
I got Teddy in draft, and he did very well.
It's awesome. Mate. It's great shit.
Great week.
Yep.
Let's talk Souths and the Knights, shall we? And for the Rabbitohs, Latrell Mitchell is suspended. It's a huge blow for them. And we thought maybe that would offer an opportunity for Lewis Dodd, but instead it's going to be Jack Whiten into the halves to join Jaden Sullivan, and Ewan Aitken back to the centres. But Lachlan Hubner can't find a spot in the back row. He's only on the bench. Yeah. So that was a few little surprising moments.
But we did flag that. We did flag that once they all you had Aitken back, you had Coleman, and you had Arrow all back. They were going to start playing those guys more.
Is it a bit of ducks and drakes, or is it?
I think so, yeah.
The advantage Hubner holders had, I sold him last week. I went all in on that round. I got a bit lucky, but it paid off. If you held Hubner, though, I think now you just have to ride it because LeBlanc doesn't play big minutes. No. He's also on the bench. Fletcher Myers is an outside back on the bench. And then you only got David Moali, who probably is only going to play 40 at max. So Hubner coming on, he could still play 50, 55. He might only play 40, 45, but he could play up to 60 minutes.
The only thing I'd premise with, just warm with that is Tallis Duncan is the wild card here.
Yeah.
We just because he
can't.
He could play 50 or he could play 30.
He could play 80.
Exactly right.
Tallis
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's very capable of doing that.
Yeah, I'm 100% with Moles. I think this team is ducks and drakes. I don't think that'll be the team.
You don't think? Yeah.
Might.
Stay tuned.
This game's too important.
For both teams.
Or the first 20s.
The mind games are going to be very, very good with this game because it's too important.
Or the first 20s like that, but then it whole changes for the next 60.
Yeah.
And guys like Schuster on the reserves, he could be picked instead of Myers because he gives a lot more value off the interchange.
No Latrell, no Walker. What does that mean? They need points, mate.
Well, yeah, they need attacking
They need points. They can't score enough to stay in games.
Yep.
So.
All right, Newcastle Knights. Andrew, what do we do with Callum Palmer?
I think this is the game. I think he's.
Yep.
I don't know what has he bottomed out yet?
No.
No, but I think he's.
Maybe.
I'm leaning toward picking the Knights this week.
Yeah, me too.
I think because they have to.
Last year, Ponga went into the 400s. And then he started getting going.
Yeah, so I think
he is a pick up at some point.
I'm looking at him, but again, Origin around the corner. He's now Walsh is out. He's probably going to be the fullback. So there's that, but I'm still looking at him.
What about Fletcher Sharp? This could be his week. Some guys have gone big against Souths in that very position. So Luke, if you've got him, I think you're playing with confidence, and if you don't have him, I feel like this is a week to bring him in.
Well, again, like we said before we came on now, I think a bit like the Penrith Manly game last week, three on the trot. I think it's back to the wall. I think this is a massive game for Newey.
I think daytime, Suncorp Stadium, I feel like
they've got too much talent.
Exactly right.
Marju.
You took the words out of my mouth.
They're too much like Ponga, Best. Like they're too good.
I'm just expecting a 250-metre game from Marju.
Best to explode. Ponga.
A Dylan Lucas masterclass.
Yep.
I'm licking my lips.
Ponga again. On the weekend, the teams that needed to win, their superstars responded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ponga needs to go. Because I think if he has one good performance, I think he's going to be the fullback regardless.
I think so.
But he's just got to put his hand up and say it's magic round. Everyone's
unless
watching.
Hammer's there.
And I think I saw on your list too. You got him as a 48, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets a 48, I think
he
goes down about 20k.
There you go.
According to the
that's what you guys need to know. So
the one thing I also say about Knights, they don't have a bye until round 18. So Ponga aside, if you're looking at guys who aren't going to play Origin, like Lucas, Marju, Sharp.
I've got Best, and I still think he's still getting decent scores.
He could have a big game.
He's
going to need to prove it because he's probably just behind your Turbos, Latrells and Stephen Crichtons, right? For Origin. He's probably number 4 centre at the moment.
He's got
needs a big game.
He's got a great matchup this week too.
Yeah. He'll be running at Campbell Graham, so I like those chances.
Yeah.
They've just got to go left.
That's a big job.
They don't go left enough. Hopefully Ponga starts going back to his old ways.
Give it to Bradman Ponga.
That's it.
Ease. Now, got to get your questions in. If you're listening on the podcast, next time, join us live, YouTube from 4 o'clock on the NRL channel. And you can ask your questions too. We're going to do one more quick game and then we're going to do the questions, all right? So, Warriors, it is the Warriors v the Cowboys. And, of course, 5:30 p.m. Magic Round. And the Warriors, well, they just keep showing up, Luke.
Well, mate, as I said, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right?
Yeah.
At home, they're just a different beast.
Well, they're giving up a home game to play this one on
So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to them when they play over here.
Darren Clark owners rejoice. Lika Halasima owners could be excited.
He's good, mate.
He is
He's
an
he's
absolute
very good, Matt.
machine.
Yeah, he's a good
The
player.
Johns boys love him.
One of their favourites.
Yep.
What about the Cowboys? They needed that win, Andrew, and Drinkwater led the way. So a lot of people brought him in last week, and they probably even more will jump on this week. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, again, has he been going under the radar, Drinky?
Yeah.
Like he was a must.
Until last
He was a
Until
must-have
last
last year, and then
Yeah.
everyone was off him this year. But again, he's announced himself as a bit of a pod.
Because he's just such a yardage stick for that team. Because
Yeah.
what he does is he kicks goals, he kicks, he passes, he does all those little silly little sideways
involved.
offloads. He gets involved in everything,
Because he
whether
knows
it's
he has
good
to.
or bad.
Yeah.
Yep. 67
That's a
back
great-
in round
that's a
62
great-
back in round 4, 75 this week, a 55 in round 6. He's had
Great
plenty of good scores.
Yeah.
Who he this is a really tough one to pick. I can't. It's
Well,
flip of the coin job.
we
I
think-
Flip
think.
of the coin job.
I think.
You know,
we-
hit-back was Robson this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
He had a big
He's
game.
got Origin in the.
Yeah, he had a good score.
I know we keep talking about it, but like it is a genuine,
I'll tell you,
motivation.
speaking of hitbacks and basically saying, hey, Billy, remember me, is Nanai.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Nanai went huge.
Peyton's very happy
And
with
again,
how he's going.
I'll be very cautious saying this, but I mean, he's cheap.
Yeah, he's very happy with the way that...
The way he's playing on the edge now, I mean, he's super cheap. What do you got him down for?
No.
I'm just saying for a pod play, always got to mention it, right?
46. Make 40k.
You could
40k.
You could do
If
worse.
he scores 46.
You could do worse.
So we said, don't worry about the mid prices unless they're guys that have shown in the past. Well, he has. He's an attacking weapon though. They've got it, and he's on the left. Dearden plays left. Drinkwater loves to run to the left, so it suits the attacking style that he's on the left now.
He'd be very interesting. I don't know if he'll play Origin, but again, I reckon he's going to be right in that frame.
It'd be a great trade in this week.
Yep.
I'm telling you that if
That's why I
not
bought-
many
that's
people
why I
will do
bought it
it,
up, mate.
but if they do, they'll be very happy because if he does go large, he could in the next 2 weeks he could make 100.
Giving the fans what they want.
Let's get your questions, eh?
Let's go.
do it.
Go.
Kingblood, flick Watson to Clark, hold another week before the bye. Well, the salaries are going in the opposite directions, so you probably want the cash.
I'm going to be I know we're going to disagree here, but I'm going to quote the great. I need to see more. I can't.
58 predicted.
Clark is always sucking me in here. He's like,
But not this year.
I know.
No, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I almost didn't believe my own words, but like they've got to replace Tohu with someone, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's also the Dylan Walker replacement.
Exactly.
That's
so,
the big one.
so I mean, why not?
Man, I want.
Why not? Why not?
Watson 52. So they're similar scores, but you're going to make a lot of money by doing that trade next week rather than next. Bo, a pickup if he makes Origin, that's a buy regardless. I'd imagine he backs up. Look, he is a pickup. He's 50k cheaper than Lucas, but Andrew, I'll throw to you. Over the long term, is Lucas going to score more points or Fermor?
I think Lucas probably will, right?
so.
I think just the fact that Desi puts Bo back into the centres every now and then.
Yeah,
That's what you got to worry about.
And,
the Titans' halves is still a work in progress.
and don't get me wrong, the Knights aren't going that much better, but I just think with Bo constantly being in the second row, I'd be saying yes, but he just gets moved around so often because he's so versatile. He just really suffers in the centres. I picked him up the week he went into the centres, and
He's a good pickup this week.
Let's just process this for a second too. They got 50 put on him, and he scored 100.
109.
he was 60 at half time or something. Like,
it is, I don't think I'd love to check that, but I don't know the last person that scored a score like that and got pumped that hard their team.
Everything went. He's not going to have another game. Like
I'm just
that
saying.
because everything fell his way.
I'm just saying for the context.
Yeah, it was amazing.
yeah, got 50 piece.
Absolute blue moon, mate.
And he'll be running that rolling average will stay in for weeks. So if you pick him up now, it's going to work. He's going to go up 100k in 2 weeks, 3
that's
weeks,
fair.
right? So if you pick him up now, it makes perfect sense. But that's the caveat. Is it long term? Like, what's the makeup of your team? Do you want both Fermor and
I think you
Lucas
want
as your
both.
2 centres?
I think
that's
as your centres, I think
You want- yeah,
I
you
still like Herbie more than both of them, but
I'm still.
up in the
Come on,
minority
Bradman, do something.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
he's a good
Bradman's
spot.
right up there too.
Yeah.
Dom Griffin, afternoon. Gentlemen, I can do Toya to Clark in one hit and then running centre roulette. Do I just go Toa to Lucas and miss Clark's cash rises? What do you think, Luke?
No, Griffo's going good. I think Griffo follow your heart there. I think the first part's good. Just do that and keep going because you're having a really good year this year. So I think
But it's probably the week now because after this will get tough
mate,
to buy.
look at the upgrade he's getting. That's great. Just do that, and mate, you're cooking.
And not many people have cover for Mamazelos, especially the ones trying to sell Watson. So Clark gives you cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Clark this week.
You can always get Lucas next week, but I do think Lucas is going to have a big game. We're going to get back to previews in a moment. Let's do one more question, shall we? Before then, the great Cat Weasel. G'day.
Oh.
Long a sell now to someone like Preston or
Have
Lucas.
the floor, mate. Come on. What do you think?
So this is where, how many Roosters do you have?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've basically got an order of a preference where I'd say Crichton, not that
Yep.
many people still have him, is your top, and Toya.
Yep.
Like that's the most urgent sell, right? Out
Okay.
of Roosters players. And then you're looking at Nafo White, some people own him. Then it's Connor Watson, I think, and then Siwa Wong. That would be the order I'd do it. And then guys like Nawanga Tinawaze and Sandon Smith now, obviously Savala and Teddy are holds. So if you've got all those guys and you're trying to do an order, then Wong could be a sell. For me, my plan is to sell Wong next week.
Okay.
So I'm hoping this game against the Dolphins, he gets a really good score. If he absolutely brains it, I might have to hold him because round 11 could see another price rise. But I have Preston, Nicholson and Wong for round 12. Only two are going to count. So Wong makes a lot of sense for me to sell in round 10 when I've got other Roosters.
Yep.
And then I can get a good score in that round because I don't have to play another red dot. So that's why I'm doing it that way.
How'd your boy
Already own
Preston? Yeah, how'd your boy go last week, Preston?
Yeah,
in the
another-
beaten
No,
seat?
it was a 59.
Mate, a 59 after getting absolutely blasted like
Yeah.
that. That's good.
That's a great score.
It's good, mate. It's good.
Yeah.
Garbage
So
time
they're
try.
both good pickups.
Good.
It's time to talk West Tigers, shall we? Against the Dragons, of course,
Look at the
and
energy.
coming off the big win in Golden Point at Leichhardt. I mean,
Eighth wonder.
it really was the eighth wonder on that evening. What can I say? Lockie Galvin back and the team's back.
Yeah, shocker. Play your best players.
He's-
What happens?
He's got some future, that kid.
That's right.
Stafford Toa. He had another good game. He could have gone even higher. He sort of went a little bit missing at the end when the West Tigers had to do a lot more defence
Well,
and
mate,
attack.
they
But
were
when
all,
they're in attack,
they were all out on their feet.
that's what I mean. But
were
when they
cooked.
have the attack, he's always a weapon. Like
Yep.
that try he set up
Yep.
for Taruva was outstanding. Obviously, Terrell May, we need to sort of, I guess,
Well,
at
does he
least
need-
talk about him a little bit.
Well, I bring it up. This is going to be the big thing with him, right? We're going to find out, like, his numbers. Is he gonna play Origin or not?
At the moment,
It's going to be very, very
If
interesting.
he doesn't, then
at
it's...
the moment,
yeah.
you would think so because Stefano is probably the other guy, and I think May's
And he's
done
playing.
enough.
He's playing. You
May's
guys said yourself he
outdone.
played 88 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've had
the middle.
we've had guys like Sophie.
He's having 5 and 10 minute breaks, and then he's coming back on. So I mean,
at most. He
and
didn't have any
again,
of this.
I don't. Yeah,
do you have,
I
8?
sound
Did he have
like
8
a broken
minutes?
record. I don't know how this is sustainable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do people still own Seafast?
What a game!
people got him.
What a
I
game!
think most people
if people
traded him up.
That's what I was
people
gonna
held
say.
him, they were laughing.
Yeah.
He had a good game. What about the Dragons? Lycan King Togia comes in at halfback. Although
Sorry,
I think
just quickly, Paul. Do we think Appy's going to play?
I don't know.
That's probably just
I don't know.
probably just worth flagging to, like the
The
silver.
Silver might end up.
I'm just saying because he looked real bad on the when he came off. He didn't play Golden Point.
Keep a close
So
eye.
I just thought, just get an on that.
Yeah, and King Togia for the Dragons. Do you think Kyle plays most of the
Yes.
half role though? So does that
Who do most
limit
of the
your
kicking?
upside?
Yeah.
King
He's
Togia,
he's
230K.
a very good player. I'm surprised it took this long for him to get in the team.
Would you wait 1 week or would you just go and get him?
I think
If you want that, he's like bargain basement, right? He's had
He's
a couple
cheap
of
as.
games. Yeah.
He didn't go up in price for his games last year.
I think the rule this year has been what?
I want to watch it.
Don't wait, just go.
Trading, baby.
'Cause I think a lot of people are going to use. A
I'm
lot
gonna
of people are going to use his. A lot of people don't can't do just one trade. They're going to have to use his salary
Yeah, I might
to get
have
somewhere.
I'm going to have to.
There you go.
I guarantee you, he'll be in the graphic for most traded in player.
And Egan's got the start this week, which is good.
Yeah, well, we were worried about him, right? We were worried about
I
the
always
injury.
thought. Well, I also thought Anzac Day, maybe Flano would try to just ease him,
Protect him a
a
little
little bit
yeah.
protected. That's
Yeah.
the right word,
Yeah.
right? So now that's out of the way. I feel like I feel like he's going to get a 50 plus this game.
Yeah, I think so. That first half,
Back in
that
business.
first half for them in the Anzac Day game was abysmal.
Yeah, they couldn't get
and,
back.
and even Fano said that. He said, "Mate, we lost the game in the first half."
And Stewart started.
It was amazing how close they were,
Yeah, he said we lost the game in the first half. So
I say, okay, de Bellon's off.
Couch, well,
Yeah, he's down to 15.
Couchy, just a machine.
Back to
Keeps on
business.
keeping
He was a little bit lower than normal. But
I know it's a bit
back
early
to
for him
business.
too, but mate, he's an Origin shout. He's a couple of years away, but geez, playing well.
Might join the camp as a 19th man or something.
Yeah, I think
Game
so.
3, just to get a bit of-
100%. 100%.
Yeah, get into it. Let's talk the Titans and the Bulldogs, shall we? And Gold Coast, well, there's trouble up on the Sunshine Strip, should we say.
Glitter strip.
The glitter strip. I don't know what's happening.
This is
here.
literally fire and ice, isn't it? Literally, like this could like.
Well, Des
the
against his old club.
the absolute polar opposites of each other. Defense first, and just offload on your own 10 metre
Defense-
line and just go
Defense
for it.
optional.
And David Fafita didn't look fit, and now he's 19th man.
So I'd like to apologise for
What'd you say?
going the crow early on Fafita.
Well,
It was all fair more.
At
It was
least
the
you
wrong
own up
edge.
to it.
Yeah,
It's the wrong edge.
That's the difference between
And he
the edge.
moved side too.
You take
Fermor.
your
He
licks,
was-
mate. That's
yeah.
the
But
difference.
Fermor moved sides. That could have been Fafita.
Yeah.
He got-
That could have been Fafita.
He got injured at training. He can't control that.
I brought him in.
He got injured. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
He's all good. He'll be back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hold Fafita. Hold.
Yeah.
Hold. Sorry, guys.
Some people have De Groot. I'm not that keen on that.
I picked him up because I just needed
Yeah.
someone who scored.
Well, at least he's on the way up.
Well, talking about teams that need a response.
So the Bulldogs finally had a loss, and Brisbane put the hammer down. So now guys like Kiraz
and they're skinny now.
Max
though.
King.
They're skinny.
yeah, they've got a few guys out suspended. They didn't respond well. Viliami Kikau's been going well fantasy.
And if there was, and again, this is the only real little bit of a banana peel with this game. What's the kind of packs that give dogs trouble?
What?
yeah, like
Big mobile packs.
I would love to see
Fodawaker,
Paulie
Campbell Gillard,
putting you on the spot
Tino.
here. What have you got Tino down for in
I think
this
it's
game?
62.
large.
I would add another 20 to that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Tino will go enormous this
It
week.
comes down to his minutes. Like he
They
might
could-
get big minutes with that bench.
But again,
it's not a big. It's
he
not-
gets 5-minute breaks.
Yeah, it's not a big minute bench. So there you go, 50, 57.
Oh, I think
playing
I'd be
60.
going the over on that hard.
Yeah, well,
So
it's
that's
a
what I meant.
It's a good score.
But
Anyway.
what I'm saying is, like to your point about dogs finally having a loss, the blueprint's there now, right?
Oh yeah,
The big
Blueprint's
packs,
there.
the big.
And the Titans need a win.
The only
and it's
problem's going to be
sort of a home game. Like it's certainly more of a home game for them than the Bulldogs.
Like you
Yeah,
said,
I don't hate the Titans this year. This week.
They
Sorry.
need a response, mate.
Yeah, it might be.
Desi
good
would-
to tip 'em.
It's a definition of a trap game for the dogs.
Yeah.
Definition
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
We'll know a lot more this
Yeah.
time next week
More
about those two
data.
clubs. Let's talk the Panthers and the Broncos, shall we? It is a rematch of the 2023 Grand Final. Is it right that NRL.com are doing a
Yes, we've got a feature coming out. It's a very good
behind the scenes?
insight to the players and the comeback. It's
A lot of players have been interviewed for
Yep,
this that
yep.
played in that game.
Yeah.
It's one of the best pieces I think NRL.com have done in the last
jeez.
5 to 10 years.
It's real good insight to the champion mentality of the Panthers. It's get around it.
Get around it and get around this game. Nathan Cleary, is anyone going to captain him this week, or has everyone gone gun shy?
I'm a bit gun shy.
Not if May and Haas are playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's just the safe bet is
No, you can't. It's disrespectful not to put the C on him. It really is. You're just playing with fire.
It's not the best matchup for halfbacks, but 64 predicted is still a good score, 9.5 above his average this year. So you could, if you didn't want to play captain roulette. My worry is if you keep trying to find the guy who,
Yeah.
like Cleary the week before had
Yeah.
the 90 score, and then you end up, oh no.
chasing those points. You know,
I think you got to pick a captain at the moment and just stick to it.
it's a day game too. Like again, the wet weather kind of worried me in Sydney over the last weekend, and that obviously dampened, excuse the pun, his score.
Well, that was the reason why I didn't
Yeah,
captain him.
yeah.
And I had the man in Brisbane, Ross Lapthorne, sending me weather updates.
So what we're saying
of the
is-
Brisbane
You're all
game.
over it,
What
boy.
you're saying is we need to do a weather report.
We needed Ross to tell everybody what I was getting the secret.
NRL.com weather report.
NRL.com weather report. I'm on it. All right.
Like it's raining, but it's not raining
Got a
too
green
much.
screen here.
And then I
Amazing.
ended up going with Haas, and look at me now.
Get the radar going over stadium.
Get Bronny up here, just
Yeah,
do the weather
amazing.
report. That's what we do.
Especially
We're all over it.
Yeah,
This way, that way. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, carry on.
But in this game, They're playing each other, Cleary and Haas, so it's irrelevant.
The two things to flag in this game: Panthers left side, and can Panthers get anything out of their dummy half and their middles?
Well,
and edges?
Summerton's starting.
That left side, and again, we've seen the change straight away. McLean's out for Ghana.
Well, they had to do it because McLean defensively has been shown up.
They just got cooked, basically.
And he needs to work on that part of his game.
Obviously,
He's
a
very
talent.
talented.
Obviously, a talent. I've been
But
seeing his praises.
also, we did say
He's a
last
kid.
week,
He's a kid.
Mitch Kenny is a massive loss in this team.
Well, he's
energy off.
And I
He's
can't
the
believe I'm
glue,
saying.
as
I
they
can't
say.
believe I'm saying.
Well, he's the glue man.
3 or 4 years ago, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a good player, but like, mate, you don't realise
Yeah.
until he doesn't play how important he is.
Yeah.
He's a glue guy.
Because Simpkin had a field day.
Yeah.
What a game.
100%.
We can't talk about them because I'm by, but he played outstanding.
But look how high-powered this offence is, though.
Well, Adam Reynolds was outstanding, wasn't he? I mean, he's sort of one of those trap buys, though. I wouldn't recommend buying him because he has these games and then he drops back. And
Well, I have him in draft, and I had him on the bench, and I had Cleary captain, and he outscored Cleary.
Where do you think
by a mile.
where do you think Payne Haas is going?
So Payne Haas has got the highest rated score
shocker.
this
Up
week.
the guts.
Yeah.
According to the predictor, 71 ahead of May 69.
Yeah.
So
I just think I honestly think you can't go wrong either way from here on in, either of them.
no, I'm
Yeah, I like
probably
a
going
day
to stick
game.
with Haas
I like a
because
day
I'm
game.
nervous about chasing May's 2 big scores.
Yeah, I like a day game too.
But yeah, I think and Shibasaki firing Cobbo as well.
At fullback.
At fullback.
Yeah.
It is going to be a great game. Fantasy aside, it's going to be an absolute great game.
Come to Manly.
Well, need a response. They got it because they're in the bottom of the table. It's crazy.
They're running out of rounds.
Well, because they got this
now or
next
never.
2 weeks, and they go into so they got to do something.
Yeah, and one of them, and round 11's a bye, so they're really running out of time. We've got to get your questions in. We're going to answer some more very, very soon. One game to get to first. And it is the Storm v the Raiders. And this is the last game of Magic Round and a super finish. 2 teams that have been playing at a very high level all year. And we know the Bellamy-Stewart rivalry, right? The coach
old mates,
rivalries,
yeah,
the
old mates,
best of mates, but enemies when they have to play each other for 80 minutes only. So I reckon we're going to get a great finish.
Team of the month, the Raiders, really, aren't they?
Yeah, that was a great comeback. I said to you at half time, I said, well, that game's done, and you're
No, you didn't. You said, I'll give you credit. If he kicked the goal, you said it was over.
When he missed the goal,
And then he missed it.
actually, I agree with you, Luke.
So you're all good. You're all good. I'm not going to flame you on that
Raiders
one.
could come back.
Well, they did the same thing against the Dolphins, right? 2 weeks ago. It was the Dolphins and Titans, sorry.
Yeah, Titans got into a massive lead.
So they've got some grit.
They're not fading anymore,
The thing with them, they just don't die with the ball because they got so much athleticism and speed in their team. One offload just causes so much carnage.
And
Strange.
what a
Kids as
player.
well, like they've got no fear.
And Hudson Young's just tearing up.
It's amazing. No one could have seen this level of him. We've seen it 2 to 3 weeks, and then back to sort of just.
Did he
normal.
score 2 doubles for 3 weeks in a row? A double for 3 weeks in a row. Something like that. Like it's
He's
crazy.
on
Well, mate, thing of fantasy was, right, you own the 3 standard Raiders players. You got
Nicholson.
Horsburgh, Nicholson, and you got, say,
Fogarty.
or Tarpanay.
Yeah.
You're getting 180 to 200 points off 3 players each week.
Even Starling and Tamale have been going.
That's what I mean.
very well.
Some people have got 4 Raiders.
or 5
That's
Raiders.
200 plus points
I brought in
every
Fabi
week.
2 weeks ago.
What about that second half?
That-
I was trying to wait one more week, and now it's like, I don't think I can afford him.
They are white hot.
Yeah, and the Storm, Munster. I didn't get Ponga right, but I got Munster right. I said he'd have a good game, and he was actually on the precipice of going even better.
Yeah, he was fired up.
He could have got to 8. At one point, they were going to get to 8.
Does not want to be the guy who lets Rabbitohs win in Melbourne.
And Liero, your man, I've got to give a shout out. He's getting 50s for fun. Like, I don't think he's got under 50 since
I sold him. Thanks,
I didn't
Paulie.
want to say that.
There's been a few whispers.
Thanks,
There's been a few whispers that Mole's been speaking to Billy Slater about Liero.
I don't think he needs to.
Possibly in the
Billy-
18th, 17th man, maybe.
I don't
Billy
need to.
don't-
Billy and I get rugby
Yeah,
league,
Billy-
and we both are big fans.
Billy
He
is
could
all
be,
over
he could be
Trent
there.
Liero.
He could be
all
there.
We get rugby league.
So-
Just,
He could be there.
future more than I.
It's going to be a great Sunday of rugby. It's going to be a great weekend.
I'll tell you this much about this game. If the Raiders get up, then the belief will really be there. Because then it'll
machine.
start. Then you'll start you'll be doing trips to Canberra doing the
then
exclusives.
Talk about NRL.com videos.
Yeah.
The one we did last year where we talked about, hey, they're rebuilding just like 94, the 89 and 94 period. Watch that. Doco.
So you're saying you're taking a bit of credit for this?
I'm saying that
You started it.
Ricky and I saw it happening.
Yes.
That's why I interviewed him.
Ever since you spoke to Seb, Chris has been playing out of his skin.
There you go.
So Chris and I go back.
Send your Raiders questions in right here. There we go.
We love him in fantasy.
Good game, though.
How many premierships will we win?
That's right.
They won 3 in that glory era.
Dynasty.
There you go.
You know, got to get your questions. Got to get answering your questions, don't we? And stop reminiscing about the good old days.
Or the future.
Spud Webb, Lucas or Drinkwater a better trade in. I will lock in my centre and wing fullbacks.
Probably Drinkwater the way they're going at the moment, Spud.
Well,
I like Lucas.
yeah, I mean,
I think
but it
long-term-
shows how you play, right?
Yeah.
Because Drinky has the up, the real up and up, whereas Lucas is just steady.
Yeah.
I've had Drinkwater the last 2 years. 2023 was great, absolutely great. And 2024 he really let me down. And the danger with Drinkwater is you get him locked in and he starts having these 30s and 40s games.
That's the thing.
But it's round 21 or 22.
But if you look at
don't have any trades to get rid of him and everyone's beating you by 30, 40 points because they've got Teddy or they've got Ponga backfiring.
That's the thing, over a 3-round average, he's unbelievable. But then it's just like that every now and then.
He won't play Origin.
Every now and then he'll
just got a
give you
great
30.
draw. Cowboys just got a great draw.
No
they've got
out of Queensland games for
They've
the
got a
next
lot
6
of.
weeks
They've got a
or
lot of home games coming up. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, again, like it's mine is just I think Lucas is a bit more consistent.
My opinion might change after this week because if Newcastle just get a W and they're back in business and Lucas gets a try.
Well,
at
Lucas
70.
could be the one that really drives them home.
I'm just saying that the hot team outside of Canberra at the moment's them.
I feel like the Knights aren't going to be too crushed out if they win. But
you should have a look at how fullbacks are gone against the Warriors when they're not at Warriors.
I'm smelling a video there.
Tim Blake, do you think Kaltoga plays on the left or right this week? This will be a good one to really hone in on. We believe that Kaltoga will move back into the right until Kamatualangi comes back from suspension. So I think if you held him through the bye, you safely hold him this week. You don't sell. But the point that Luke made earlier is a very good one. They play first up. It's all about Magic Round. Pop it on to Foxtel or KO. They're going to be talking plenty of pre-game hype. They're going to show some shots of warm-ups. They always do. Just see who he's warming up with. If he's warming up with that right side, so you've got Simonson there, you've got Penasini there, you've got Moses there. If he's hanging out with those 3 guys, you're safe. If he's hanging out on the other side with Addo and Co, Dylan Brown, that's when you say...
Pull the ripcord.
Put him in the loop, because you've probably got a Ruben Garrick that you can loop, right? That's probably your Manly player.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can loop him. Hamira Pere, thinking of trading Kaltoga or Hubner, Xavier Willison, who would you hold? Oh, Moira, I would have done that last week, not this week. Both of them were red dots, now they're green.
Yeah, and is Willison I don't think he's smart. Is he going to stay?
Well, apparently the reporting is today is that he's actually considering leaving and there is a full-time edge.
Because Ricky's coming back. He will come back.
Ricky's back.
He's back. They're playing him together.
Willison's kept the spot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which is great for him. My fear is how many mouths the Broncos have to feed.
I think we talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago, right? When we said Maguire's goal is to try and get Carrigan, Haas, and him all on the field together at the same time.
Yeah.
And then have Jensen backing them up. That's what
I think so.
That's what he really wants
62
on the field.
last week.
Well, that's
Producer
what
Tom Leake's one of his favourite players. He had Willison last year.
I'm a big fan.
He was just so keen on knowing this was happening.
I would do it.
I was stuck in a lift with him during All-Stars. He's a huge human.
Wow.
He blocked out the light.
Whoever Mollers meets, I'd get on.
I was terrified.
I agree.
Just like, he was huge, such a big...
You met Tom Dearden just before he started getting picked for Australia, didn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that
redheads got to stick
Another one you
together.
can claim?
It was a redhead meeting.
But again, I would
Pete's worried.
Wilson.
He wants to know if it's time to move on Hubner. He held him through the 1 week off last week.
He's got a low break even, right? I think...
It's like 26, 27.
That bench says to me he's still going to get good minutes.
I think
it isn't ideal that he's coming off the bench. I did sell him last week because I honestly thought this would happen. But looking at that bench, it doesn't scare me. So if I'd held him, I wouldn't be worried at all. I'd be probably...
Heath, the only thing I'd ask you is that when I was holding Hubner, I'd just ask how many trades you got and who would you be going into? Because I think if you're in a good spot and you're in a good and you hold, I'd almost just like Paulie said, play it in a week. But if you're chasing the points a bit like Paulie was last week, then maybe make the move.
Yeah.
I just need to know a bit more, because
Yeah.
again, if you got 20 trades, I wouldn't be doing if you got 20 trades left.
Tom's just told me a lot of people are asking about Hubner. They're very worried because he's been put on the bench.
It's a valid concern.
But unless you missed on a Savala, right, because he's starting to really climb. Like, he'll go up 70k this week. Your other guys are Halasima, who may not have job security. He's the next highest. Aaron Clark, who you may already be not wanting, but
Priced
maybe
out,
you could somehow go Hubner to Clark. I don't know. Derby's not a buy, right? And then you got Metcalf, who we've already all sold. He's going great now. And then your boy,
I sold him after round 1.
your boy Nanai, which so did everyone.
Yeah.
Nanai's the other one. I think unless you're going one of those real high guys that are going to make a lot of money in the short term, I'd just hold.
I'd hold.
You can always get the guys next week.
I'm going to get on record saying this now. My only concern with him, I think I'd do it now because I think Mollers is spot on. I think there's going to be Ducks and Jakes, and I think Schuster's going to come late on the bench.
Yeah.
But
but I'm saying if he comes on as a lock,
yeah. But even
I'm just
saying.
saying.
You've got Moali, Hubner, and Schuster. It's still it's too many mouths. Like, there's not enough mouths. But the guys have got to have breaks. You know, so Hubner will still be out there. It's me. Love the show, boys. Who would you play in the bench at a Stafford, Toya? So that's Toya and Toya.
yeah.
Purdue, Tamale, Savala, Hubner, Egan. Oof, that's a stacked bench. To only have to play to leave 3 of those guys in your emergencies.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be playing.
He's got to play 3, does he?
I think you've got to play Egan.
I'd go to I'd go Egan, Tamale, and I'd probably go Purdue.
What about you, Andrew?
I mean, I like Savala, the matchup. Egan, Tamale, it is a tough matchup against Melbourne, but he just does it.
He's a Marju,
40,
yeah.
Tamale 40.
So Egan, Tamale, I like Savala, and
Savala 49 predicted.
There you go. Mullins might know something we don't.
maybe Purdue. Purdue's come good.
Oh,
Purdue's a good young kid.
Purdue seems to. I mean, he's on 40 there.
Yeah, kid can play.
That's what you said a couple of minutes ago. He just gets involved.
Toa,
He's always
Toa
around 39. The ball.
Yeah.
Dom Griffin from Cookie. Afternoon, lads. Cookie here. Should I trade Hubner to Clark? Should I trade Toya to Jenkins or Jenkins, to Lycan King Togia?
Well, it's good on Griff doing so on behalf of Cookie. That's good.
I don't mind doing those 2 trades, and that is a way. You mentioned it, Andrew, that you might have to get King Togia because that helps
You just need
go
to.
up.
Yeah, you just need
So
to.
Hubner to Clark, I think that's going to be a good move.
I think.
It gives you depth in the hooker position, but he can still play mid for some of those the Origin rounds where you're going to need him in the mid position.
I'm surprised Cookie's going Clark.
I was going to say, I'm surprised he's getting off the South player.
I think he must be looking at the old bunnies for him and going. He must be looking at their formations going. He's worried about the minutes, Paulie. So
Toya or Jenkins, who are you getting rid of?
Probably Jenkins.
He'll get rid of Toya because of next week. But to your point, I think there are a few whispers that Toll's back next week.
Okay. I'm so surprised Jenkins just hasn't kicked on.
Well, there's no McLean inside him this week.
That's true.
A lot of people are blaming him. I'm not sure if that's warranted, but they're blaming him. So, either way, they're probably both sells in the near future. Hey, Noddy, thoughts on White, Lucas and Hubner to Willison? I've got too many Roosters players. Well, that's one way around.
Love it.
Would you definitely, is Hubner to Willison 2 sideways, or are you happy with the upside?
I like the upside. I'm a big Willison guy. I think if he stays there, he's going to cause some massive.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Could be worth the roll of the dice.
Could be worth it. Like if he stays.
DPP too.
If he's
Lucas is great.
He's DPP too.
Yeah.
He's trading in one deep. He's doing 2 DPP plays.
Yeah.
So
get it done. The Keg, thoughts on bringing in Hughes for Egan? I've currently got Hines and Fogarty. So planning on round 13. So is that Dylan Egan or Wade Egan?
It'd be Dylan Egan.
It'd be Dylan.
You can't get rid of Dylan Egan yet.
No.
He's got a long way to go. I reckon he's going to make it.
Don't get scared of last week, Keg.
And Hughes, with all those other mouths to feed in the Storm, I don't really like it. I like Hughes as a player.
It's too early for Hughes, I think.
You got Hines and Fogarty, so you're all good.
You're all good, mate. Don't do it, Keg. Keep your Keg full.
Round 13, you get 4 trades as well, so plenty of You can make plenty of moves
Yeah.
right in round 13. Torres Tash, g'day fellas. I'm starting to think and prep for the big buy rounds. Thoughts on Corey Pakes to Will Kennedy?
Oh, geez, the Dally M leader.
Look, you definitely got to get rid of Pakes.
Got to get rid of
because
Pakes.
He got benched the other
Yep.
week. That was annoying for us Pakes owners.
Yep. I didn't even play him.
I just ended up flicking him as soon as I heard that news.
Smart.
Mid-round trade.
I'm
Yeah,
smart.
stop this. Kennedy's never been that fantasy relevant in the past, and there's this thing was out at the start of the year where it's good year, bad year. And Kennedy, this was in the odd years, he goes 10 points better average than in the even year.
Yeah.
So this is an
Yeah.
odd year. So he has living up to that at the moment, but has he already peaked?
I mean, he's not even on my radar.
He played great.
Yeah, like he's playing.
He's playing
Was
very
it?
well.
I mean, his contract year.
He's playing great. So I
It's a
don't.
spicy pod.
Yeah, it is. To be fair,
Yeah, but Tash might be playing pod, so I mean,
better than my Reece Walsh take. So
yeah.
Who should I trade Jenkins for? Asks Jordan.
what is Jenkins worth?
Well,
I mean,
I've only got him making 29, scoring a 29 this week, which would probably make his cash gen. Yeah, there you go, losing 8k. So I think he's maxed out at 380. I don't know unless the Garner, but I don't know. Is Garner really going to be that much better ball distributor?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Are we talking wing fullback for wing fullback though, or are we talking?
Well, people don't have a lot of wing fullbacks. King Togirl could be an option.
Or maybe
to
just
make
Jenkins and you do the cash down to
If you look at
to the Dragons.
well, Halasima's the other bloke.
Also, yeah.
Right, because with 380 and what's he at 410, you might be able to get there.
Does
30k in the back.
Edwards, if Edwards gets picked for the Blues, does Jenkins go to fullback?
Well, Laurie
No,
must be
Laurie.
next in line.
No, because a couple of weeks ago when Edwards was injured, wasn't the late change was
Yeah, only because Laurie was a late rule out.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That same.
Okay.
Laurie
same
seems to
week.
be the backup.
He couldn't do the captain run, and so then Jenkins
Okay.
came in at fullback as the third choice, and McLean, who was going to be dropped back then,
Yeah.
and is now finally
Yeah.
dropped, was
Okay.
actually.
So he's not a
came back in at
fullback
centre.
option. So I'm looking to get rid of him.
And this could be a good shout for any good cheapies to buy under 450k. Sam Tuivasa for the Eels off the bench. He's a big bopper, right?
Yeah, he was good against you boys.
He's right up there in the top 15 for making money over the next 2 weeks.
He was good against you boys.
61k the predictor has him making, right?
Yeah.
So he's a good cheapie and he's well under 450k.
Can break a tackle. Had their bye. I don't mind it, Paulie.
I'm tempted to bring him in after reading
You've talked
that.
yourself into it.
So there you go.
I didn't realise he was going to make that much cash.
It's me's found a gold mine there.
Josh Randall, Ponga to King Togia, Toya to Lucas, Watson to Egan. Thoughts?
I'm keeping Ponga for
So
one
that's
more week.
Wade Egan, because he's going a hooker to a hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, Wade Egan's been killing it. He's just flown under the radar. We should have been talking about him, really. But
every
every
time-
year he gets injured.
Because every time you turn on the you always flick the channel, he's always down injured.
Yeah.
That's why we don't talk about him. We don't want to jinx the poor
I don't
bloke.
want to
We're
jinx
big Egan fans.
Exactly, I don't want
Yeah.
to jinx
Been
it.
fans
Yeah.
even from the days he played at
I mean,
Panthers.
that's pretty good, man. To be honest,
The only danger is this could be the week.
if
Ponga
you're
goes large,
but if he's convinced he's off Ponga, he's off Ponga.
If you're off Ponga, I like Ponga this
Ponga's
week.
still going to lose
'Cause he's
money
gen-
even with a good
He's
score.
gener-
So
he's
I
gen-
can see the
He's generating
rationale.
heaps of money there, which is good. So.
Yeah. Last question. Hamwara's back. Do you think Kolomatangi will play Origin? Who are your picks for New South Wales? The New South Wales back row. Oh, well, Andrew, you go.
I don't think Kolomatangi plays. I think the back row kind of picks itself. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton. I think Hudson Young is probably on the bench. So and
I still have Ola Kawatu.
and Ola Kawatu's in and around.
And I even have Jacob Preston ahead of Kolomatangi.
I think you're wrong, Paul.
No, I'm saying in the
Yeah, I'm
in the
joking.
rules.
Yeah.
Like not. I don't think Jacob Preston will play Origin.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if I was to list
Yeah, in
the
the-
back rowers,
Yeah.
I'd probably have
I think-
Kolomatangi at 6.
I think back row will pick itself based off last year, and they have the credit in the bank. And I think Hudson Young will be the 17 because he can play centre as a
Centre,
pinch
yeah.
and back row. And I think that last position is going to be down, so they're going to pick 4. They'll pick 4 genuine middles. So it's a spot for either Ola Kawatu or something like a.
So Watson bench.
Yep.
you're probably putting like maybe a May on the bench.
That's what we keep talking about. There's going to be someone that either
or a Barnett.
or May
starts.
or May starts.
I think
Barnett 15.
I think May starts. I think Spencer Lenu's in the team.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. He's
So
an impact guy.
young, Lenny at 16, Young at 17. No backs. That's what we're thinking. Maybe a Matt
because Watson and Young.
But Watson and Young
would counteract it.
Yeah.
Watson and Young are the utilities essentially.
Yep.
So if May and Haas are starting, Barnett, Leniu, middle bench.
In answer to your question, I think Keanu need a couple of injuries to get in.
He's a long way back.
And also too, he's been a victim of his team's form.
He is playing well, to be fair.
He is playing well. But he's missing his running buddy, Cameron Murray.
He's down there on pecking order a little bit.
Well, I think they also thought moving him to the left, he'd have Cody giving him these great balls, but Cody's been injured most of the year.
He's been a victim of his people falling around him. So.
Good show, Luke, Andrew. Thanks so much.
Another 1,000 on the deck.
Well, what do you guys think? I don't think I can get 1,000 this week.
I think
I've already put it in the predictor.
I'm backing you in.
And I just think some of the scores will be a tiny bit lower from your Haas's
I'm the opposite. I think there'll be big scores this week.
Could be right.
All that ground. There's just a bit of a buzz at Magic Round. Everyone seems to get a bit more flirty with the ball.
Yeah.
A Haas master class would be nice.
There you go.
Me.
1,000 for Paulie. There you go.
But yeah, I'm going to say I'll fall a bit short. Anyway, we'll know this time next week. In the meantime, stay tuned to NRL.com. Plenty of action there, both fantasy related and the game in general. And as we said, that Broncos Panthers rematch from 2023. Watch that video when it comes out later this week. But for now, Luke, Andrew, I'm Paulie G. We will catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.